Hello, it's the full moon, October 2021. This is a timeless bit of guidance for you, not so much a reading, but a bit of guidance, really, more than a reading. Giving you some insight into what's going on in your inner world and what's happening for the collective at this time through our chakras. So we've got the Chakra Cards, which I created, and they invite some inner reflection. So really thinking about our responsibilities in the world rather than seeking outwards for answers. So here we go. Let's go with the base chakra. What does the world need to know this time? That was quick. How would you describe your relationship with your own family? So there's two questions in this deck. One is around the family of birth, and this one is about the family that you create. So how would you describe your relationship with the family that you've created? It might be a pet family. You might be have animals and they're your family. You might have some friends that you've created. You might not have any contact with the people that you grew up with. You know, there could be lots of different ways that family might form for you. I remember reading somewhere that there's 47 different types of family. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to describe what a family is. So how would you describe your relationship with your family, the one that you've created? So that really sets us up for a good reading, this one, I think, for purpose and your place in the world. So let's have a look at the Sacral Chakra. What does the world need to know right now? I think it's the one on the bottom, actually. What does it mean to be a woman? And how has it changed over time? So thinking about the role of women in the world. And this doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. These are non-gender specific. There are a couple of questions in the series that are gender specific, but for this one is, what does it mean to be a woman? For you to be a woman or for someone else to be a woman? And how has it changed over time? I know that lots of young men are comfortably wearing nail polish now. And, you know, does nail polish mean you're a woman? I don't wear nail polish. Does that mean I'm not a woman? So really just thinking about how society views what a woman is, but also what it feels like to be a woman if you are a woman, and what do you think it might be like if you are not a woman or don't identify as one. So thinking about these two cards together, so in your family of your own choosing, you know, who are the women in your family that you choose, and how come they're in your world? You know, what sort of women have you included in your inner circle? Good question to reflect on. Solar plexus, what do we need here? That one. Are you following your dreams? Interesting question. They're all interesting questions. I always get that. People always say, oh, this is a great question. Yeah, they're all great questions at the right time. Are you following your dreams? And I wonder, you know, when we think about our family of birth, our family of origins, you know, we often have social conditionings and cultural conditionings around that. And when we start to create our own family dynamic, the people that we choose to be in our lives, we can, you know, follow our dreams in a whole different way. So are these people that are in your world, are they supporting your dreams? And are the women or the feminine energy in your world, are they helping with your dreams? And this could also be nighttime dreams. Are you paying attention to your nighttime dreams? Or it could be dreams and goals types of dreams as well. So looking at those three, you look at the cards individually as one at a time, but you can also cross-reference and see how they relate to each other. Okay, what else does everyone need to know at this time? Full moon. Oh, I love the full moon. Oh, there it is. What are you grateful for? Make a list. Oh, that's a lovely card, an activity. So what are you grateful for? Make a list of gratitude. And you might want to make a list of gratitude about your own family and your family of birth. If you're a woman, making a list about what you're grateful for to be a woman, but also, women have come a long, long way. I mean, it's only 50 years ago that, they belonged to they were like chattels to the husband. So it's women, the role of women in society has changed enormously over time. So we've got, as a woman, someone who identifies as a woman and who is a woman, I'm very grateful for the progress made for women's rights, particularly. But if you're not a woman, I mean, what are you grateful for about the women in your life? Thinking about those sort of things. And what are you grateful for in terms of your dreams? What dreams have you followed? What dreams have you achieved? Have you achieved some dreams that you were interested, that you'd set out to achieve? And how did you get to be where you are now? Those sort of things. Lots of great reflective questions this month, this full moon. Throat chakra. What does the throat have to say to everybody? What does it look like to really listen? What does it feel like to really listen? I think this card particularly, you can have a reflect on your own, but I think this card is about listening to women and listening to the people in your family. So, when you're listening to someone, are you a person who nods and interrupts before the person finishes? But what does it feel like when you are really present for someone, when you are right there, you are fully there, you're not thinking of things to say or interrupt or give advice? What does it look like to really just hold space and be there for someone when they're speaking? And again, what does it feel like to listen in your own family? What does it feel like to listen to the feminine in your life? Does it listen to your dreams? What does it feel like when you're listening to your dreams and your goals and the things that you want in life? And what are you listening to in terms of your gratitude? Are you paying attention to the things that you can be grateful for? Are you looking at the negatives all the time? So there's lots of great reflective points there in those cards. So we've got 5 really great reflective cards, which could be individually used you could journal for each of them. And I do encourage people to journal, pause the video after each one and then just journal and then just see what comes up. If anyone's watching. At the moment I'm just talking to myself. All right, let's have a look at the third eye. It's a bit too many. Third eye. It landed on our tantric deck, so it's about relationship. Who do you admire? What are some of the qualities of the people you most admire? So who in your world do you look up to? And quite often if we look up to someone, role modeling is the most powerful way to enact change. And when we look up to someone, we want to be like them. And so we follow the behavior that they have. And so by being a role model, you can also influence the world around you. Again, we go back to our family, the women in your life, including yourself. Who has achieved their dreams that you admire, and who's really grateful, and who do you admire that can hold space really well, who really listens. I mean, there's nothing worse when you're trying to talk to someone about something and they interrupt and share their story, and I've been guilty of that. I'm not going to pretend that I haven't, but when you can really be there and listen to someone, I really admire that quality in someone, because you are not projecting your own stuff onto that person. You're letting them be their full selves at that moment. Okay, and when we have a look at the tantric deck, we'll see if that comes back to the admiration as well. So this is the crown, and here we go, and it's landed on the gold deck, which is perfect for this card. What is the purpose of all life? If you want to mess your head up for a little while, just contemplate this. What is the purpose of all life? And for each of us, it has a different meaning. Like why are we here? What is it? What's this whole show for? Are we in what do they call it? In a game or something like that? And aliens are just playing with us as avatars, or there's lots of crazy theories out there, but we all have to find our own purpose, you know. But this is asking the purpose of all life. So what is the purpose of insects and spiders and plants and flowers and mammals and fish? And, you know, what is the purpose of all that? You know, why is it all there? And if we think about this one, and we'll never ever find an answer to that. But if we can come back to, if the purpose of life is to just live, which is what Alan Watts says, well, then all of our complications that might come up in our life, they're trivial when it comes to the purpose of life is just to completely be yourself, if that's what it is. So just thinking about how, I think this is a perspective card. So thinking about putting all of this other stuff into perspective. So while in these lower chakras here and up into the heart, we're thinking about really earthly things, really things that affect our daily human existence, and these ones are more into our spiritual existence. And you know, this card here, the purpose of all life, is asking us to step back from this lower end and go, what is the purpose of all this? Thinking about, you know, what's the greater purpose happening here? So if you are in a relationship, this is for you. If you're not in a relationship, this might help you to manifest that, if that's what you want. There's no obligation to be in a relationship, an intimate relationship with someone, but we all have needs, so it's okay to ask for and get those needs when we need them. So this is about intimate relationships for everybody. Also linked to the admiration card there. Doesn't look like it's about intimate relationships, this reading, the full moon. Let's just go with this one and see. Do you flow with Shakti energy? Oh, it's the feminine. So the Shakti energy is the energy that of the feminine. So that's here, this feminine again here. So the Shakti energy is like a river. It flows. I feel it through my body, you know, undulating through my body. Whereas the Shiva energy is more solid and dependable. The Shakti is like a river. It just sort of flows much, much more. This card is also about the admiration, you know, because that one landed on it. Do you flow with Shakti energy? Do you flow with life? Are you a bit more rigid in your thinking? And who do you admire? And who do you know that flows with Shakti energy? Who do you know that just sort of walks as if they're, you know, on a cloud and you know, rolling with sexual energy and creative energy and stuff? Really beautiful when you find someone you can admire who does that. That's really lovely to see that, because then if you see it, then you admire it and then you want to be that. So I remember I met someone like that and I went, I want to be like her when I grow up. She's absolutely stunning as a embodiment of being a woman, you know, to be a woman. She just encompassed it all and she was just magnificent. And that's not in a sexual way. No, I didn't. But it was more just embodying that. And the last one for today, again, bit of perspective. What surprised you today? This is also linking to the gratitude. You know, what are you grateful for? So you've got a couple of activities here today to work on. You know, there's a couple of gratitude things. Thinking about your dreams, thinking about your energy, but also stepping back and looking at what is the big picture here. Let's look at the big picture that's going on here. So I think this is a really, it's not so much about, it's not about external people, this spread. It's the guidance is about you in this full moon. So your own perceptions of yourself and where you are in the world, and what are you doing when you're looking outwards, but also when you're looking in. So I hope that was good for you. Please leave a comment and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because apparently it helps get more people, and I would really love to be able to help more people take charge of their lives and take responsibility and look after themselves without seeking externally. We need to look within to find the answers. Peace and love to you. See ya.